Strength fades, looks deceive, but strategy endures. The world doesn't belong to the loud or the brave. It belongs to those who can read the invisible, to those who study people like maps and move through chaos with intent so quiet it feels like inevitability. Because in this age, brute force is obsolete. What wins now is precision, social precision, psychological precision, the ability to predict reactions, shape perceptions, and turn even your silence into influence. That's what these lessons are about. Not just power, but poise. Not domination, but design. The architecture of control built through elegance, adaptability, and the discipline to never show the weight you're carrying. You'll learn to move like a strategist, to charm without surrender, to reinvent before you're replaced, to act through others while remaining untouchable, because the highest form of intelligence isn't knowing what to do, it's knowing what not to reveal. Welcome to the training ground of strategic minds. This is where awareness becomes advantage and self-command becomes the art form of influence. Build your strategy muscle, think sharper, move quieter, evolve beyond reaction, and master the unseen game. Law 1. Play the perfect courtier. Raw power offends. Refined power ascends. Those who grab attention too quickly burn beneath it. Those who move like whispers rise without resistance. Power isn't seized anymore. It's granted. Granted by those who believe you harmless enough to trust. By those who never saw you coming. Rule indirectly. Glide. Don't grab. Because in the real world, thrones aren't taken by force. They're handed over politely. But you mistake honesty for strength. You argue correct, demand credit. You call it integrity. You call it ambition. But in the language of power, it reads as arrogance. You win moments. You lose networks. You speak truths people aren't ready to hear, and mistake bluntness for courage. Every time you correct someone in public, you win the point and lose the person, because egos don't forgive, they just wait. Machiavelli warned of this centuries ago. He wrote that rulers endure not through power, but through performance. Virtue worn like costume, cruelty delivered like medicine, favors traded like currency. He knew that influence isn't about dominance, it's about presentation. The perfect courtier masters that theater. He flatters upward, veils ambition, and achieves everything through grace. Not because he's weak, but because he hides sharpness in elegance. Today, the court looks different, but the dance hasn't changed. The boardroom replaced the palace. The CEO replaced the king. And the courtiers, they sit in meetings, not marble halls. Watch closely. The ones who rise fastest aren't the loudest or the smartest. They're the ones who make powerful people feel safe, admired, and essential. They defer in public, but decide everything in private. Their smiles are armor. Their silence a blade. Look at corporate life. The blunt manager tells it like it is. He wins applause from juniors and contempt from those above him. Soon his honesty becomes attitude. Then comes the transfer. Then the silence. Meanwhile, the soft-spoken strategist listens, agrees, and adapts. Behind closed doors, he steers outcomes through suggestion, not command. He rises quietly, invisibly.
Hey guys, we're Strategy, based in Abu Dhabi. We use AI tools to make these concepts come to life, but it's our amazing team who goes deep, breaking down powerful philosophical ideas and showing how they really apply in everyday life. We hope you enjoyed today's content.
By the time others recognize his influence, it's already untouchable. That's not manipulation. That's survival. In politics, the same law reigns. The minister who outshines his leader signs his own exile. The wise advisor feeds the illusion of control, while guiding every decision from behind the curtain. He knows that power has moods, and the skilled never confront moods. They choreograph them. In social life, elegance wins the same wars. You don't correct a friend in front of a crowd. You do it in private, softly, with tone. You don't proclaim your superiority. You let them discover it quietly. That's how influence breathes. To master this law, you must turn subtlety into strategy, praise in public, negotiate in corridors. That's where real power trades hands, in side rooms, hallways, elevator rides, where the world pretends to rest. Suggest, don't insist. Plant ideas so others think they're their own. Let them announce your plan as their creation. When they win, they'll defend you as if defending themselves. Keep gossip flowing to you, never from you. Information is currency, and the talkative are always poor. Be agreeable in manner, unmovable in purpose. Never raise your voice when persuasion can whisper. Never attack when charm can infiltrate. In every era, the perfect courtier survives. He doesn't fight wars. He hosts them. He lets others compete for his approval while pretending to need theirs. He makes superiors feel wise, rivals feel respected, and followers feel chosen. That's why he endures revolutions that bury kings. Because charm, not authority, is the only power structure that never collapses. Master the dance, and you control the music. Be the calm in the chaos, the listener among egos, the smile that hides calculation. Because in every room, some speak to be heard, and some move so gracefully that others carry their voice for them. Be that person, the one who doesn't fight for attention, but owns it by absence. That is the art of the perfect courtier, the first lesson in invisible rule, and the oldest secret of lasting power. Law 2. Recreate yourself. Identity is not discovered. It's designed. You are not who you are. You are who you decide to become. Every powerful figure in history understood this. Identity is not a mirror. It's a mask, a weapon you forge, not a label you inherit. Because those who stay the same become background noise. Those who reinvent themselves become movements. Rewrite the mask, make it obey you. But you cling to definition. You wear the names others give you. Reliable employee, good friend, quiet creative. You think consistency earns respect. It doesn't. It earns predictability, and predictability is invisible. The world doesn't reward the authentic. It rewards the adaptive. People crave novelty, but wrapped in comfort. The illusion of change that still feels safe. And if you don't control that illusion, someone else will. You'll be branded before you ever build your brand. Machiavelli saw this truth centuries ago. He wrote that a ruler must adapt his image to what the times demand. Merciful in peace, ruthless in crisis, humble when watched, godlike when alone. Because image is policy and perception dictates permission, the wise prince never shows his true self. He builds one that wins allegiance. A mask isn't deceit, it's strategy with a heartbeat. You see this everywhere. The CEO returns from scandal, no longer the casual founder in sneakers, but the measured statesman in navy and restraint. He smiles less, speaks slower. He isn't pretending, he's evolving. He doesn't defend his old image. He replaces it. The artist who reinvents sound, style, and identity before the crowd grows bored. They call it innovation. But it's calculated survival. A new skin before the old one cracks. Or the corporate climber who dresses for the next title, not the current one. Who stops saying, "I can do it," and starts saying, "I can lead it." They don't wait for promotion. They perform it until reality catches up. Because perception always moves first. Rebrand before the market brands you. In the digital age, this law screams louder. Online, your image updates faster than your essence. Today's authentic self is tomorrow's algorithm casualty. Influencers, leaders, icons, they all evolve tone, posture, morality. Not from deceit, but from instinct. Because in a world addicted to change, stillness equals death. To master this law, treat identity as a living campaign. Define the persona that wins here. Are you the calm strategist, the visionary builder, the magnetic disruptor? Choose intentionally. Because unchosen identity is obedience in disguise. Align your clothing, your cadence, your conduct. Dress is armor. Tone is theater. Movement is messaging. Together, they become narrative, orchestrate moments that announce your transformation without saying a word. A public decision, a subtle shift in language, a performance of evolution so convincing the world never questions if it's real. And when that identity stops serving you, shed it, without sentiment. The snake doesn't mourn its skin. Neither should you. History belongs to shapeshifters. David Bowie turned reinvention into immortality. Madonna turned evolution into empire. Elon Musk turned unpredictability into armor. They all became too fluid to categorize, and that's why the world kept watching. Because nothing commands fascination like someone who refuses to stay still. The great mistake is believing authenticity means permanence. It doesn't. You don't need to lie. You just need to lead perception, because truth doesn't move people. Myth does. The way you walk, the way you pause before speaking, the way you hold silence in a crowded room. It's all part of the mask. And when you master it, no one can tell where the act ends and the power begins. Control the costume, and you control the crowd. You don't need to prove who you are. You need to decide who you are, and make the world confirm it for you. Every reinvention buries a weaker version of you. Every mask you forge becomes a weapon against the limits they gave you. Because identity isn't found, it's engineered. So recreate yourself again and again, until the reflection staring back isn't what they expected, but exactly what you designed. Law 3. Keep your hands clean. Power must look pure, even when action isn't. Because perception isn't just image, it's protection. No one blames the face that looks merciful, only the hand that looks guilty. So when power must strike, make sure the strike doesn't trace back to you. Outsource the dirty work. Keep the halo. But you do everything yourself. You fire employees personally. You confront betrayal directly. You cut the losses with your own hand. You call it integrity. You call it courage. You call it leadership. But in truth, it stains you. Because when people remember pain, they don't remember the reason. They remember the face. You win the moral battle and lose the throne. Machiavelli warned rulers of this long ago. He wrote that cruelty, when necessary, should be carried out by ministers, while mercy should come directly from the ruler's hand. A wise prince delegates punishment and reserves kindness. He appears merciful while necessity hides in the shadows. Because people don't crave justice, they crave the illusion of virtue. They need to believe their leader's hands are clean, even if those hands wrote the order. And this law hasn't aged. It's alive, just dressed in modern clothing. A CEO announces a strategic restructuring. He speaks softly, sincerely. This was a difficult decision, but necessary for our future. What he doesn't say is that HR delivered the letters. Consultants designed the plan. Managers executed the fallout. He never touched the blood. And because he never did, he leaves the stage as visionary, not villain. That's not luck. That's architecture. Politics plays the same script, only louder. A government raises taxes, cuts jobs, reshapes lives, but the leader doesn't announce it. A committee reviews a spokesperson, explains. By the time the backlash hits, the leader appears last, with a solemn tone and a promise. I understand your pain. We'll fix this together. He becomes savior, not the source of suffering. Because power doesn't survive by being right. It survives by distancing itself from consequence. Even in personal life, the law rules silently. You want to end a toxic friendship. You could confront them, list every reason, every grievance. But you don't. You fade, you stop replying. You let silence perform the surgery. And soon they drift away, believing it was their choice. Your name stays clean, your conscience quieter. That isn't manipulation. It's emotional intelligence in motion. Because in life, as in politics, truth matters less than who delivers it. To master this law, you must separate decision from delivery. Build buffers, committees, advisors, proxies. Let others deliver what you design. Let policy be your executioner. Let standards and systems carry out the cruelty. When something painful must happen, make it seem like the machine decided, not you. Announce principles, not punishments. Let violations trigger consequences that look automatic. You didn't fire anyone, the policy did. Arrive only after the dust settles. Enter as the reformer, the one who brings calm, the one who makes it right. By then, the damage is done, and you are the cure. You can see this architecture everywhere. A major brand recalls a product. An investigation team takes the blame. Then the CEO appears on camera, apologetic, reflective, controlled. The scandal becomes proof of leadership. The fire becomes light. When governments mishandle crises, they blame predecessors, committees, bureaucracy. Then they announce reforms they themselves delayed, and the crowd cheers for redemption. That is the alchemy of clean hands. Be seen saving people from the storm you scheduled. Appear as the calm after the chaos you released. That's not deceit, it's design. Because history doesn't remember the executioners, it remembers the redeemers. In leadership, this isn't about lying, it's about optics, emotional management. You don't survive because you're right. You survive because you remain untouchable. Your actions can be ruthless, but your image must stay divine. Let systems take the blame. Let others absorb the heat. You remain stainless, serene, because the strong act through others, and the wise leave no fingerprints. So build your empire like a shadow government. Let every policy carry its own consequence. Let every necessary cruelty have no visible author. You are the architect, not the executor. The healer, not the hand. Because the world never forgives cruelty, it can see. But it worships those who appear clean. Let others deliver necessity. You deliver grace. And when the storm clears, stand in the sunshine, untouched, admired, and perfectly pure, because the halo, once earned, outshines every sin hidden beneath it.
Thanks for spending time with us. If this sparked a new way of thinking, hit like and subscribe to keep the ideas flowing. And don't forget, check the description for the links to the original books and resources we used today. We'll see you in the next one.